What's up? Welcome back to my channel, or for the first time if you're new, I'm Sylvan, and today I'm going to be reacting to Apothecary Diaries, Season 2, Episode 16. I'm very curious to get into this episode, see what it gets into if it follows up on the last episode, so I won't delay things at all. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video, leave a comment on your thoughts, and let's get into this. I'm a fan of the song for this opening. It works quite well, I'd say. Yeah, I'm very curious to see if we'll follow up on last time. Because if we do, it's entirely possible that Gyoko gives birth in this episode. And how that goes very much will reflect on what happens with Loman going forward. I've said it before, but I love these perspective shots in the opening. They're really fun. I'm also very curious what is going to happen with God, what's her name? Sweet Ray. She is scheming, and we got a reminder of her presence last episode at the very end, so. I'm very curious to see if Lacan is going to be involved at any point here, because we had them mentioned not long ago. There's the hairpin. Huh? Oh, yeah, the hairpin. Okay, immediately starting with this. Cool. Does that mean the reveal happens today? Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. He is a altruistic man. Is Guin his name? The quack doctor has a name? I don't know if we learned that before, but... Okay. So he's just more generally here. Yeah. Yep. So his help may be needed in the future as well. That would be good. That is the first step. Okay. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Wow, he's accounting for that. Huh. Oh? Huh. Okay. Ah, interesting. Wow, he's really smart. Yeah, he thinks like a merchant, but he's just in poverty. Yeah. Huh. Makes sense. Good move. Hmm. Not surprising. Hi, Mau Mau. Oh, what's that? Hmm. Yeah. Okay, of course. Oh, yeah, the teacher knew him. Huh. Wow, okay. God, such an altruist. Huh, okay. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Yep. Serves two purposes. Oh. Okay. Interesting that they seem like they were essentially like two friends within the palace. Yeah. Oh. What is it, Mau Mau? Yeah. Oh. Wow, that quickly. Oh. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, you sort of just ran into this. All right. An opener. Hmm. Yeah. 10. Jesus, okay. Entire lives just in the rear palace. Yeah. Was she one of them? Ah. So this is where they went. Well, that's fucking tragic if that's the case. Yeah. Dangerous to put so many people who would have things against the Emperor in just one place. She has been around long enough. Ah. Hmm. That's not the kind of thing you should just tell people. Okay. All right. Giving it in. Oh, that's when that is from. That's what it was. Huh. I mean, all of this lines up, but it is still just conjecture. An entire life in the rear palace after what has happened to you at such a young age, of course there'd be resentment. Yeah. You have no proof, just an idea. Don't want to tear that down unnecessarily. Okay. By Shisui, I imagine? Yep. That's my guess. There's something more with Shisui. Oh, that is a good point. Okay. Oh? Ah. This confrontation. Oh, wow, I was not expecting this. She immediately picked up on it. Okay. Oh, whoa. Oh, this got intense fast. That's what I was thinking. Oh, absolutely. Oh, fuck. What? What is Shisui doing here? What the fuck is going on? Oh my god, she knows exactly how to get a Mau Mau. Yeah, she has this all planned. The fox in the east. Okay. Oh. The two beasts. What are you up to, Lacan? Anyways, Jesus Christ, we're just going away from what was happening a moment ago. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that was connected. Ah. Subtly trying to call him out. Yeah. Gee, I wonder if that'll happen. Yeah, not the kind of item that people can easily get their hands on. Lacan's being very bold right now. Jesus Christ. Huh. The main topic. That isn't even the main topic. Okay. Good to see he's happy, I guess. Oh my god. Oh. Colorblind? He's colorblind. Yep. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Huh. Oh? Wait a minute. That. Wait a minute. Yeah. Huh. Duo's back and impersonating Jinch. Okay. Okay, so she's missing. Wow. Yeah, and that's the end. Okay. Jesus Christ, this episode. Okay, so this episode started fairly chill in a way that I'm not surprised by. We started by just sort of exploring how Loman as a character is in this environment, and a little bit how he was when he was here originally. It's interesting because this is realistically the most direct of a look we've had at his character in a while, and it becomes very clear that he has the capabilities and capacity for greatness. He could have been many things, but he chose to be a doctor because he wanted to help sick people. More specifically, I think they mentioned sick children or orphans or whatever. And even then, in his time at the Rear Palace, both now and in the past, he was very attentive to make sure that everyone was safe and okay. Writing up these notices of what could be poisonous, what to avoid, that kind of thing, which is really attentive and kind of him. But also the way he goes about distributing it, especially now, is very smart. Mao describes him as being almost merchant-like in how he is going about this, figuring out that he can get smaller scraps of paper for a lower price, which then the written notice he wrote can be distributed with those scraps as basically being writing practice for the school, so he can get a ton of them without having to write them himself. It's really smart, it's really interesting how he thinks. He's incredibly kind and carefree and intelligent and practical, while also just being so content despite being so poor. And we, interestingly enough, through this, when talking to the teacher, get a bit of a sort of look back into the past, that he seems like he was a friend, basically, of Loman's. Seeing his past is something very interesting to me. But tragically, it would seem that however roundabout it is, these notices that they were putting up when they were younger, years ago, have wrapped back around to cause problems for the Rear Palace. Because though they were notices written with safety in mind, they also essentially directly point to all the things that are dangerous that could be used to poison someone. And Mao Mao realizes that this is a possibility and immediately goes to confront, even if it is carefully, and more so just to try to figure out if she can suss out if this is the case, the head of the clinic, Lady Shenlu. And it's from this point onward, basically, that the story sort of goes into overdrive. There has been very few points in the story where things have gone this breakneck and this many things have happened this quickly in succession. In Mao Mao's talk with Lady Shenlu, she is able to parse out, just purely through conjecture, so she doesn't have proof at this point, but nonetheless figure out what Shenlu has been up to, what she has been doing. Though through this we only have confirmation of Shenlu's connection to Shin's schemes, it is clear that she could have been responsible for a lot more, and is tied up in whatever this grander conspiracy is. And one of the main reasons, if not the reason, why she is involved in this seems to be the same reason that potentially a lot of the older court ladies in the Rear Palace might want to do something like this, which is following up on something we learned in a previous episode, being that, once again, the former emperor was a horrible person. Even with all of the things that are pitiable about him, he did also prey after young girls, and after he defiled them, they would not be allowed to leave the Rear Palace. So once they got old enough that they were not desired as concubines, if they ever even were concubines rather than just servants, they would be sequestered off to the clinic, where older servants and court ladies would be allowed to be. But as I mentioned in the reaction briefly, it's a very dangerous thing to put a lot of women who would, in all likelihood, have a lot of resentment towards the late emperor in one place for the rest of their lives, where they are simultaneously in control of the health of the Rear Palace, seeing as they are running the clinic, and in a nexus of information, because anyone who gets sick comes to them and might give information that they shouldn't, like we see here in these hypothetical flashbacks. And we also see through these hypothetical flashbacks how this information to get poisons out into other parts of the Rear Palace could be done. It's the same process that Loman used to try to warn people about poisons, but with actually intended malice. It is a very dangerous combination of factors. But from there, Mao Mao decides, okay, I think this might be the case, but I have no proof, and until I have proof, I do not want to cause problems for the clinic, because the clinic itself is a good thing. But then as she's leaving, she gets distracted by a bookshelf, and she happens to pick up a book on insects, at which point she realizes, hey, wait a minute, either Shisui was looking at this book or writing this book, because it has all of these insects that she specifically had seen right around the time this book showed up here. And so she begins to spiral down, who is Shisui? What is she up to? Why is she a servant when she has seemingly the knowledge and capabilities to potentially be a court lady or something along those lines? But before she can finish that line of thought, she is interrupted. And this is what I was talking about when I said the story is kicking into overdrive. Far sooner than expected, we have a direct confrontation between Mao Mao and Suirei. Suirei has confidently and intelligently pinned down Mao Mao as one of the greatest threats to whatever her plans are, and therefore is here to remove her as an issue. And though she threatens Mao Mao at first, she then further threatens Shisui, of all people. Whether she grabbed Shisui and has been holding her hostage to bring her here for this moment, or if Shisui happened to be at the clinic and then was just grabbed right now and then, who's to say? But either way, it becomes even more complicated now, because we were just questioning who Shisui is, and now she's a hostage. And it's here where Suirei outright confirms a lot of Mao Mao's suspicions, and taunts her and threatens her, and basically forces Mao Mao to come with her out of the Rear Palace, which, as we see at the end of the episode, results in her seemingly going missing. She seems to be almost like on a boat or something. It looks like a boat to me, but it might just be like the interior of a cart with no windows or something maybe, which means that fundamentally the status quo is broken for the time being. Next episode will not be a normal Mystery of the Week scenario. Mao Mao is no longer in the Rear Palace, being forced to go somewhere. And so despite this insane moment, we then jump to an entirely separate scenario. Though, realistically, I doubt it is truly that separate. We get narration telling us there are two beasts in the palace, one to the east and one to the west. To the east is the fox of Lacan, the mastermind, intelligent strategist who has not been stopped or defeated by anyone in his rise to power. And to the west is Shisho, the ruler of the northern lands, father of one of the head concubines, and potential schemer against the emperor. And with this sort of introduction of their reputations and status, we have both of them meeting with none other than who we believe to be Jinshi in his true identity. And Lacan invites the both of them to have a drink. Now, of course, within all of this, the interesting thing we learn at the end is Jinshi is too busy for this. He is not here. They have brought in a duo to impersonate him, given how similar they look. Presumably, in a little bit of time, we will learn what exactly is going on here with that, because I feel like there's a lot going on there. It's implied that there's at least a little bit of time that has passed since Mao Mao has gone missing, because they realize she's missing, and presumably Jinshi is just chaotically trying to figure out how to find her. But we don't know for certain. We don't know what exactly is going on. All we know is that Duo is impersonating him in an official standpoint. But regardless of that, within this moment where these three very influential figures are all sat together drinking, it seems Lacan's intent, mainly, is to suss out Shisho. He brings up schematics of the guns, the Feifas, explaining how impressive they are in design and how dangerous they can be, and how realistically it is questionable how some random people were able to get their hands on them and use them to try to assassinate someone. And though he is failing his true intentions behind just a more casual conversation, it is very clear that he is just trying to see if he can catch Shisho in a slip-up, if he can get anything to tell if he is at all connected to this. And he doesn't get anything concretely on that, but notably, he does give us one major piece of information. Shisho is colorblind. He uses a very intelligent way of sussing this out by having a servant pour a glass of juice into a glass cup where the color of the drink would be obvious. And in the pouring says the red of this drink, implying it is red, like the other drinks they were having. But then the drink that comes out is green, and yet despite that, there is no reaction from Shisho, proving he is red-green colorblind, which is a very interesting detail, because what that tells us, based on what we learned in a previous episode, is that Shisho is in some way descended from, or at the very least has the quote-unquote qualifications of the original royal family. He would be able to pass the test of the maze. What exactly this is supposed to tell us, I have no clue. What discovery this leads us to about Shisho, I do not know. But it is a very interesting detail that inevitably will have a lot of importance in some way, because they would not put this in if it didn't, and Lacan would not test him on this if he did not have a reason for it. So I'm very excited to see how that goes and why that is the case. But then finally, we also just get a little bit of information on Lacan. He did get married, he is very happy, and he is just over the moon about everything that he does with his wife. It's real sort of cute. Lacan is a wife guy. And though we don't get exact details, hopefully she is doing better as well. But we only get so much information. And now we are going to be moving into a very different next episode. Things have changed dramatically. We shall see how they resolve, but I don't think I can predict what will happen, because there are a lot of ways this could go. Will we be following Jinshi trying to find Mao Mao? Will we be following Mao Mao trying to get out of the circumstance she is in? Will we do both? Will we do neither? We shall see, I guess. There's a lot going on right now, and I am here for it. But with that, I think I've covered things pretty well here, so feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment on your thoughts, and I hope you all have a great day. Goodbye!